All right, welcome in everybody. Thank you for coming out to the Women's Wellness Network. Today we have Jennifer Quick. Now, Jennifer and I do know each other from the past, and I know she has a lot to offer us. So we're just going to have a little chat, and I'm going to let Jennifer kind of, you know, tell us what she wants to share for now. And if I have come up with any interesting, intriguing questions, I'll definitely ask her because, everybody comes in from a different perspective, and yeah, we want to learn, we want to know. So, Jennifer, how are you doing today?
I am doing really good. It's been a
Awesome.
great day.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much for being here. Even though I've heard you have snow in your neck of the woods.
we do. It's actually the best snowfall I think we've had this year. So I actually love snow. So it's
Well, I
beautiful.
do also. I do.
Yeah.
I love
Thank you
seasons.
for having me here too. I'm
Oh,
very excited here.
you're very welcome.
Great
So why don't you
networking.
tell us a little bit about yourself and maybe where you are in the world and, who you are?
So I am actually from the Fraser Valley in BC, Canada. So I'm Canadian, and yeah, I'm a soul clarity coach. I help women, mostly women and the men that they send me, to navigate and understand their soul story so that they build self-confidence, bring love into their relationships, bring self-love, bring abundance into their life, just fully transform their life into alignment with their soul purpose. That's my goal. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to say, but
Sounds like
that's
that's a good passion, right?
yeah,
You kind of
yeah.
got your little niche there. You know what you are interested in doing and who you want to help. And well, we know that you're doing that.
Yeah.
So besides that, what are some of the modalities that you actually help them with?
I have been doing this quite a long time, so I've collected quite a list. But I generally narrow it down to focusing on the Akashic records and people's cosmic stories. So I do go quite into the cosmics. I do channel with the Galactic Federations, as well as Pleiadians and Arcturians and numerous other alien species. So I do go into that realm. And I also go into matrix alignment. So it's our actual energy field and how they are designed to show up here in our human lives. So I focus on that. I do neuro-linguistic programming, so NLP, hypnosis. What else is there? Actually, I'm a really, really big fan of HeartMath. That's an organization in Northern California that studies the brain and heart connection. Really big on that. I work a lot with Kuan Yin, and she is a goddess of compassion, which is also in alignment with that HeartMath Institute. So that's a big one. Emotion code is another one I resource to a lot because that's releasing the emotions, which again ties into Bruce Lipton's biology of belief. If anybody's heard of that, a lot of his trainings, I follow a lot of that. Um, Reiki is at the foundation. Reiki was probably my first step into all of the spirituality that I get into. I come at this a little differently than most because yes, I am a natural intuitive. Yes, I've been channeling since I was a little kid, but due to life circumstances, I grew up with mental health in my family, and when I'm talking to things others don't see, and my grandmother is talking to things that others don't see. And it became something I definitely didn't want to share, and I closed it down. So when I got into spirituality, it was because I needed to for the survival of my own life and to find connection with my own soul. I had to do it in a very mechanical way. So I have a lot of structure, a lot of platform, a lot of framework, because it's all about your framework and how you're referencing the information. So I went about it very mechanically. And so because of that, I have a very wide variety of tools that I pull on now. Yeah.
Okay, well, of those tools, what do you think is your favorite one? The first one that you said, like going to the Akashic records and things like that?
Probably yes, the Akashic records, because they are so much. I mean, Akash means etheric. So that's pretty much everything that's energy, which is all of us. And through the Akashic records, you can go in and look at specific energy signatures of a person, of a place, of an event, and you can move through the timelines. So everything kind of integrates with the Akashic field and, of course, the Akashic records. So, yeah, that's the most powerful place to go.
Yeah, it is powerful. I know it's powerful. I've been a part of that a little bit myself. Yeah, the healing that can come from something that we are so regular people, not you, that we're so out of tune with. All these things are like there for us, but we don't know. And it's awesome that somebody like you is, promoting and helping us understand what this is even about.
Yeah. It takes people leaps forward in their own self-discovery, understanding, counseling sessions. If you're if you're doing counseling on a regular basis and you get an Akashic reading, you just leap forward in your progress with that counseling. Same with coaching. You just leap forward because you've aligned your energies. You've cleared all this past programming that has come through into this life or that you've picked up in this life. So it's such a fast way of moving forward.
Wow. If yeah, I think that kind of thing is like, do you need to have some kind of baseline before you kind of head into that? Or like, would you recommend something else before somebody tried? Okay, lots of people are in therapy, lots of people go to uh, you know, mind people. But is there something that you suggest that people can do for themselves before they kind of start rolling on that? Because I know it's a big thing, and you have to kind of be well, open, of course, but you've got to get to a kind of a little level of an understanding, I think, before you can feel comfortable being more open to it.
There can be, if I do take people from like not knowing anything and just leaping forward in it. And generally, somebody who's very new to it or somebody who's very experienced to it, they all will get great benefit from learning how to move into a compassionate heart. And so I actually have on my website, there's a program called Empathy Overwhelm. And I think it's called Exit the Matrix, whatever. In there, it talks about how to deal with your empathic abilities so that they're not overwhelming you. But most importantly in there is a meditation I call the AM/PM meditation. And it's all about clearing the basic energetic goo that we collect from being human. So it can be the emotions we pick up from other people, the emotions and thoughts we are no longer aligned to that get stuck in our energy field, as well as different emotions and energies that pass through our daily lives, earthbound spirits that pass through our life. It clears all of that and gets us to a point where we start actually dealing with our stuff versus the collective. It strengthens our spiritual shield so that we don't feel as attacked, right? So it gets rid of all those basic, part of just being human information. In order to blossom, there's a philosophy right now that's coming out in spirituality where people are feeling they don't really need spiritual protection, or they want to just be all that they are and shine bright, which is beautiful. I love it. The problem is, if you don't understand how your energy interacts with others, it can actually harm others because it can be overwhelming to them and it can knock them out, in which a lot of people identify as psychic attack, which is actually just over energy fields that are kind of out of alignment. Also, we can also be buried under so much dark beliefs and programs and emotions and just negative energy influences, negative entities, negative, all sorts of stuff that's actually pulling us down. And a lot of us are born into very difficult situations. And if we just open up and jump out there with our souls shining bright, it can create an amazing amount of chaos and pain and rejection, and it can harm ourselves, it can harm others. But if you learn actually how to create a safe, clear space that is you, and how to respectfully and compassionately interact with those around you, then you can actually start elevating yourself and offering that energy to others without being at a toxic level of it. So, and that all the AM/PM meditation that I do kind of brings people into that clarity space so that they learn how to what's them and what is somebody else.
Oh, that's fantastic. And that's like a simple way to start, right? Like meditations. And I think people think meditations mean you have to like have no mind right away and know nothing and be just blank. But you
Yeah.
know, there's other ways to do meditation, right? Besides
Yeah. Yeah.
besides just sitting there and doing that, like your thing, right? Having a
And
guided meditation.
it's a guided meditation. It also has heart frequency music in it. So it's actually opening up the compassionate heart at the same time. So it's calm.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's very powerful. I reference everybody to it.
Awesome. And that will be at the end. We're going to ask you about where to find your stuff, but we can find that in your.
It's on my website, front page.
Cool. Awesome. Oh,
Oh,
that's so
well.
exciting. See, we could take away something right away, right now, right here. We can start
Absolutely.
today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this
Yeah.
is it's a beautiful thing for us to be able to do this and share with people so that they can, you know, hey, do I connect with Jennifer? Oh, she's interesting. Oh, she does this. And then, right? What does that even mean?
What does that mean? I get a lot of that. What does that mean? And how do you do what you do? I'm like, well, it's like I said, it's been a mechanical step learning how to do it, but we can all do it. We all have those abilities.
That's very true. And I think once you get to a certain understanding of all the parts that you possess, uh, everything kind of clicks into place. And this makes more sense. And that over there makes more sense. And the Akashic records make more sense when you have
Yeah.
a little bit better understanding of, well, a little bit of everything, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It helps you. One of the things I've noticed that shifted over the last 4 years, particularly, has been more and more of my clients are actual healers themselves. And I've noticed this with myself is that as I've learned how to do this healing and now I work deeper and deeper into the Akash and into spiritual and metaphysical basis, there's fewer and fewer people that relate to me when I'm struggling because we all have struggles, right? Um, because of that, it becomes harder and harder to find people that can understand what it is you're dealing with. And that's what I find a lot of people are coming to me. So it's like healer to the healers. I find a lot of healers, counselors, people that are in the self-help industry. They get to their spot where they're stuck, whether it be understanding a client or understanding their own journey. They're like, who can I even talk about these absolutely crazy, insane things like, oh my gosh, in meditation the other night, I went to like another universe and I encountered some strange warlord entity and now it's interfering with my life. What do I do with it? Call me. I'll help you deal with it. You're not crazy. Trust me. You're not crazy. And that's, yeah. And because I have such a structured framework, I don't have to be having those experiences myself to help guide you into navigating that because I'm all about empowering you to do it. I don't want you to rely on me. I want to teach you and show you how to do it for yourself.
Perfect. Yes, because then we can take it with us, right? We don't need to, oh, I got to call Jennifer because I don't know what I'm doing, even though I
Yeah,
talked to
I
her
do.
yesterday.
I am really about a lot of freedom. So I kind of come in and out of this world a lot. I have a lot of time that I like to spend up in the cosmos. I have a lot of time I like to spend with my family. I want to travel. I want to do things. So I do not want people that are going to need me to be there for them, holding their hand every step of the way. I want to empower you to do your own. And when you get into that point where you're confused and you need to move forward and you're like, what is it that I'm not getting? Call me. I'll help you figure out what you're not getting.
Excellent. It's always nice to have somebody in your back pocket, right? You know, hey, when I get to this spot, because lots of people now might be watching and they'll be like, oh, I don't even know what that means, or I don't know, like, how do I even get to that space? Like, how do I even, what's my path to get there? So
Yeah.
having people that can guide a little bit, you know, and understand the lower levels of, you know, the first steps to get going. Yeah, it makes it nicer because it is hand holding at the beginning, right? It is like a little bit of nurturing and showing and all that stuff. So do you just work like in person or do you do stuff online now?
I'm all online now. Yeah. Occasionally I will do like this coming month, I do have I'm doing a Reiki share and I'm doing a goddess ceremony, a cacao goddess ceremony. But then that's the last in-person events I have planned for quite some time. So come and
Okay.
go. I am actually lining up. I want to do a retreat to Sedona in the fall. So far, the request has come for to do it the end of September, so I'm aiming for that. And that's going to be so incredible. I'm so excited for that. I want to show people the Sedona because it's an incredible place. So many vortexes, so many interesting healers down there that I want to connect with as well. But I also want to teach people how to travel where they learn how to tap into the land and have the land show them the history, show them the magic of the place that they're in. And so that's what I want to incorporate. When I went down to Sedona for the first time this last fall, our first day there, I stopped at this wall of petroglyphs, and it was full of tourists and everything. And my husband and I are there, and I just looked at him and he goes, just find your spot and do what you do. I'll make sure you're safe, right? Like keep the scorpions away or whatever. Like I'll watch you safe. So he did. And I just found this one little corner and I just sat down and I just put my fingers in the soil, and it just started showing me all this history of the area. And so I started telling him, right, in the state that I was in, listening to the land, I just started telling him everything I was seeing. And slowly the tourists kind of moved away, and the park ranger that worked there migrated towards us. And when I came out of the whole session, he confirmed so much of what I had said. He marked the history. He also showed me that where I had chosen to sit was the glyphs on the stone. There was actually a crack in it that was a vortex to the underworld, and there was the shaman there, and there was these other symbols, and like how the spot I had chosen was just the perfect location for it. And yeah, so it was phenomenal to go through that. It was so much fun, and I want to teach people how to do that when they travel.
Yeah, that's amazing. Amazing.
First
Yes.
trip. Yeah. Sedona coming up soon.
Okay. Well, we'll be keeping our ears open for that one. You'll have to make sure you let us know because
I
I'm sure
will,
some
for
people would
sure.
like to attend, even if, maybe some people that already live there and you can connect with them even, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's amazing. That's so exciting. I'm excited. Maybe I could go by then. I'm gonna have to
Yeah.
think about this. Yeah, right. Ooh, I've not been there before. And of course, I've heard many wonderful things. And yeah, it's somewhere it's on my list, of course, being
Yeah.
an energy healer
It was on my
myself.
list too. And it was one of
Yeah.
those things, just it was never lining up, never lining up. And then all summer, for like 4 months, my husband and I tried to find a chance to get away together. And we couldn't. Both our work schedules would not work with each other. And then finally, I'm like, we're either going or not. And I'm going. So we just picked a week and did it. And it was very last minute that we decided to do it.
The universe was letting you know exactly the right time to go. Those
Yeah.
blockages that didn't make it work out to begin with, those are those things, right? Those are also things that we need to learn to pay attention to when the universe
Very
is
finely
saying, it's not saying no, it's just saying not now.
And it was a pivot point for both of us. It was a pivot point trip for us.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So crazy. So crazy. Okay, so we're going to have to keep in touch with you, obviously. And I
Oh, yes.
definitely will have to have you back because we have other modalities to discuss.
Sure.
So
we can talk about what's going on in the world right now, the Great Ascension. I love talking about the Great Ascension.
Yes. Oh my word. I know,
And
right?
why all this chaos is going on, and like where all the hope is, where all the joy is when we're looking at all these chaotic news things. There's a lot of joy being coming.
There really, really is. And I know just connecting with people myself and the different, let's see, groups, I guess I want to say, because I don't want to point anybody out, but the different groups that I know and have been involved in, I can see, this little pocket is now, they were here before, and now they're like here. They're like interested. They're looking. What is happening, right? They're opening up, and it's awesome
it's a
to see.
grassroots movement coming up from underneath. Yeah, it's exciting. It's very exciting.
Totally.
Getting to be a bit long, but it's exciting.
Right. Well, now it's at least we're seeing some things happen. We're seeing results. We're seeing, the chaos is creating order eventually. So
is coming out right now. So much truth is coming out. And honestly, this year and like about halfway through next year, is still going to be into that real heavier energies and everything. But after that, it's going to start getting lighter and we're going to start inviting more joy in and stuff like that. And actually this April is sort of like the final descent of Claire, and then it's going to pivot. So this April is actually really, really powerful energy month.
Let's just get through it. You got to go through it to
Bring
get
out the
to it.
popcorn, bring out the popcorn, watch the show, as they say, because April's going to be exciting.
Cool. Well, I'll sit back and observe because I'm not falling into anything anymore. I'm done with that. So if anybody wants to connect with you, how can they find you?
JenniferQuick.com.
How simple is that? Beautiful.
Yep. Yep.
I
Just
couldn't
me.
have TammyScarlett.com. Somebody already has that.
Oh yeah. My husband and I started out in computers. So we ended up JenniferQuick.com. I think my husband bought it probably as like a wedding present. I've had it that long.
Many moons ago, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, it's been really awesome talking to you, and I hope to see you again on the Women's Wellness Network. And any of you out there, if you are interested in speaking with Jennifer, we will put her information in the comments. And yeah, experience, go check out something new. And thank you very much for coming out today also. And Jennifer, yeah, thank you so much. We will see
Thank
you
you for
again.
having me. Thank you for
Absolutely.
having me, Tammy. This is a wonderful, and I love the network that you're creating. This entire world that you're doing is just beautiful, beautiful. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you. I gotta find the button.